organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, we'll show you the latest Iowa City bar to earn an exemption from the 21 ordinance.
And an energy price hike. See how Iowa City will be impacted.
And in sports, men's hoops prepare to take on the Spartans once again for their final road game of the regular season.
We have it all at the top of the hour.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Sanchez.
And I'm Stefan Duran. For the first time in more than 4 years, 19 and 20-year-olds will be able to stay in Union Bar after 10 p.m. on select nights. On Tuesday, the Iowa City Police Chief certified the Union as an entertainment venue, which means that people over the age of 19 can stay in the bar until 2 a.m. on nights they host shows. These shows will be live entertainment like singers, rappers, and other bands. The owner, George Whitgraff, said that he hopes the change will take students out of house parties and keep them in Union Bar. He said it will change some of the early parties. The plan is to stay away from that and focus on 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Earlier today, we spoke to students on campus to see if the rule change would bring them into the Union Bar.
I don't know. It's a pretty big freshman bar, so normally only like the 18 and 19-year-olds go there anyway.
It won't really affect me because I'm 21, but it'll affect the younger crowd. I definitely think it'll make it more packed and more cracking.
It's a little bit too crazy for me, but I think it'd be really nice if some of the other bars, more relaxed bars, were 19 all night.
The certification requires the Union to host at least 150 shows each year, so look out for upcoming performances.
The amount of money it takes to keep your lights and heat on in your home may be on the rise. MidAmerican Energy has requested a rate increase totaling $135 million over the next 3 years. The cost will be distributed among customers. This increase would affect consumers both locally and throughout the Midwest. The Iowa Utilities Board approved the rate plan at the end of February. In the wake of a MidAmerican blackout last month in Iowa City, the board is making sure it considers customer safety in the decision. Rob Hilsland of the Iowa Utilities Board had this to say about the decision.
That's one of the things that the board has to consider and balance is that the utility is able to provide safe and reliable service and also to maintain fair and equitable rates for the consumers.
The final decision regarding the increase will be made March 17th, but the increases won't be applied until 2015.
Wisconsin Representative Paul Ryan is returning to Iowa. Ryan will headline the Republicans' annual Lincoln Day dinner in Cedar Rapids in early April. In 2012, Ryan came to Iowa to campaign as Mitt Romney's vice president. However, Ryan is now viewed as a possible 2016 presidential candidate.
Spanish. It's the most popularly studied language here at the University of Iowa, and after English, the most commonly spoken in the Iowa City Community School District. One UI Spanish class is reaching out to others and getting practice at the same time. Mirelo, take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
For University of Iowa students who are studying Spanish that need to fulfill the 4th semester lower level course, also known as Intermediate Spanish 2, more than just the traditional class is offered.
My students go out and work with elementary school students in the community to improve their Spanish or to teach Spanish to kids who don't know Spanish, just to basically give them opportunities to work with kids in our community and get to know what it's like to be Hispanic here in Iowa City better.
This class is called Spanish in the Community. The Spanish in the Community students meet here in Phillips Hall on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to hold class. Then, throughout the week, they go out into the community to put their Spanish-speaking skills to the test. UI freshman Amira Nash said she chose to take this class because she loves kids. So far, it's been a great experience for her.
It's a good way to work on your speaking Spanish more than like your grammar and things like that.
Students can volunteer in a variety of ways. First, there's Spanish Buddies, which pairs up UI students with native Spanish speakers to work on homework and other activities. Then, Spanish Club, which requires the UI students to teach Spanish to kids who have never learned. And finally, there's a creative writing Spanish program, which partners with the Iowa Youth Writers Program. And no matter who's the better Spanish speaker, they all learn a thing or two from each other. Mr. Jones said he plans to continue this class for as long as he stays at the UI.
Although we started the morning with a snow shower, I heard it might start to warm up.
Let's toss it over to our own Maria Palladino with the weather. Maria, what can we expect?
Thanks, guys. It's been quite chilly the past few days, especially with minor snow flurries this morning. But luckily, the clouds only showered us with about an inch of snow. Tomorrow morning, we are looking at a high of 9 degrees with an increase of temps to 23 degrees in the afternoon. By the evening, temps will rise even higher to 31 degrees. Looking into the rest of the week, Friday brings warmer temperatures with a high of 42 degrees. But on Saturday, temps will creep back down to 30 degrees. Saturday also brings a 50% chance of snow. However, get out your sunscreen and swimsuits for a high of 44 degrees on Sunday and 48 degrees on Monday. Next Tuesday will mean roughly the same temps, but will also bring overcast skies. That's all for the weather tonight. Enjoy the warm weather. Megan and Stefan, back to you.
Thanks, Maria. It's time for this week's edition of Hawkeye Buzz. Alyssa, what's buzzin'?
Hi guys, and welcome back to Hawkeye Buzz. Iowa City restaurants are gearing up for the Top Chef Iowa City competition at the end of this month. Gabriella Dunn checked in with some of this year's competitors to see what they're mixing up for the big event.
Gray's mixologist Mark Eliff is prepping their Great Flower Martini for this year's Top Chef mixology competition. Eliff said choosing their Great Flower Martini was a no-brainer.
I've seen hundreds of people take a drink of this, and I see the same thing every time, the eyes wide open. It's like, wow, I've never had anything like this.
In the past, restaurants could enter into all 3 categories, but this year, restaurants are limited to just one category of either entree, mixology, or dessert.
There's our Great Flower Martini. It's delicious.
Giovanni's is also competing in Top Chef Iowa City, but they won't be a competitor against Gray's. Instead, Giovanni's chef Mason Fillmore is prepping for the Top Chef entree title. Fillmore only has 4 months of chef experience under his belt, though, making him an underdog competitor.
There's a lot of people, I can't call myself a chef around them because I never went to school, but I've learned enough under different chefs. It'll be a test for me to prove myself in the community.
For the rest of the month, restaurants will be prepping to make sure they have their best foot forward. Gabriella Dunn, Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for that, Gabriella. All looks very tasty. Can't wait for that. And make sure to look out for the big competition, which is set for March 31st right here on campus. That's all for now. Guys, back to you.
A school principal in northern Iowa has been charged with setting his school on fire. Thomas Sander, the principal of Trinity High School in Dickinson, Iowa, is charged with arson and endangerment. Both are felonies. Police and the fire department are still investigating, but students were given the week off from schools as officials decide how to proceed. The building was heavily damaged in the fire.
And now let's take a look what's happening beyond Iowa. Another baby cured of the AIDS virus? It appears so, thanks to quick-thinking physicians. Last April, Los Angeles doctors began HIV treatment 4 hours after a child was born. Tests show no trace of the virus in the baby's system. The physicians were inspired to act fast by a Mississippi baby who appears to have been cured by a similar early treatment.
Men's basketball only has 2 games left in regular season play before they hit the road for the Big Ten tournament.
To find out what the Hawks need to do to come up with the win Thursday night, let's toss it over to our Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio.
Thanks, Stefan. Jalen Sochik here flying solo tonight in the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. Track and baseball both on tap tonight, but first on the program is men's basketball, as they head to East Lansing to take on 22nd ranked Michigan State Thursday night. The devastating 71-69 loss against Michigan State back on January 28th still leaves a sour taste in many people's mouths. But in order for the Hawks to get the revenge on the Spartans, they have to be prepared for a different, more full-strength Michigan State team. Iowa will hit the road for the last time of the regular season in East Lansing to reface Michigan State Thursday night. The last time these two met, it ended with a heartbreaking loss for Iowa by only 2 points. Final score 71-69 there. That was all done without two of State's key starters, Adrian Payne out with a foot injury and Brandon Dawson out with a broken hand. But Iowa will have to contain those two this time around as they return to their lineups. Sophomore Mike Gazelle up for the challenge.
It'll be a fun one. They're pretty much back to full strength. They're a very good ball club. It's always a battle going against them. It's kind of the atmosphere that you dream of playing in. This is why you play Division I basketball, and it'll be a fun one for us, and the coaches will have us ready to go.
In Payne's return, he has scored double figures in 6 of 7 games, and he'll be someone Adam Woodbury will have a tough time containing. But Gabe Olshaney off the bench to relieve some of the pressure off the starter. He leads the team in blocks with 42 this season. While the men's basketball season is coming to an end, Iowa baseball is just getting started. But this start is no ordinary one. So far this season, the Hawks' record is 9-1. This is the program's best start since 1940.
Every day we come in here, we work really hard, and we work with a purpose, and we work to win days, is what we say. So I think all that's been carrying over, and it's led to success.
The team just returned from the Stetson Invitational in DeLand, Florida, where they took a 3-game sweep, claiming their 7th straight win. Something first-year head coach Rick Heller couldn't be happier with.
So far, so good. I mean, the guys have played really well, and we've pitched well, played good defense, good hitting, and when you combine those three, you give yourself a pretty good chance to win.
The baseball players are not the only athletes setting personal bests this season. A senior track star just returned from the Indoor Big Ten Championship, where he tied his personal best time, earning him 3rd place, just missing the mark for the NCAAs. Our own Taylor Axelson sat down with the sprinter to see just what it takes to run 60 meters in just 6.78 seconds. Taylor?
Thanks, Jalen. Tevin Seaman, the senior sprinter, not only has what it takes to probably be the fastest guy on this campus, but also an effective leader on his team.
Coming to this year, I knew that I had an All-American title under my belt. There just shouldn't be really anyone who can really keep up with me. Preseason training, it was more guided towards our actual events the whole year versus just doing a lot of endurance stuff throughout the whole preseason. So we were more technical a lot this year. And I pushed myself in the weight room a lot, and I just made sure I stayed on top of everything. All the side work Coach Woody gave us. I was the only one returning who was going to be here for a full season, and I knew that had to mean something. I feel like coaches were going to rely on me a lot more this year, especially to lead the freshmen. So if I wasn't even doing anything that well as a senior, what would make them really respect me? So a lot of this year was just earning respect and then making sure I kept it. As a captain, I feel like I always have to set the tone for my guys and for our practices and for our meets. I feel like if I could step up there and put my best self out there, that's going to encourage everyone else to do the same. I think it actually helps me do better, and I really know I need to perform. And because I know that I have that pressure on me, I feel like I just strive under those kind of conditions. Taken away from the indoor championships, I know that I could have ran faster, though I had a bad start, and that's just one of the positives I can look at. I know I can run faster than what I did. And if I keep that in my mind, there's no telling what I can still do. You have to have a short-term memory a little bit when it comes to track, because that race is over. I can't do anything about Big Tens now. It's done. I just have to look forward to the future. And now I just have to make sure I continue to push myself to run another 40 meters or so pretty hard, as fast as I can. I don't really want to put a limit on myself. I don't think I have any limits yet. So I can't really say how fast. I just know I want to be the fastest.
Even after proving himself by being one of the fastest guys on the team, he has still not received one of the highest honors that goes along with that, a scholarship. Jalen, back to you.
Thanks for that, Taylor. And Mincy says he's now going to focus on his outdoor season, where he runs the 100-meter dash and the 4x100 relay. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Be sure to tune in back tomorrow as we report from Indianapolis for the Women's Big Ten Tournament. But for now, it's back to you at the desk.
Only with Daily Iowan TV can you get an inside look into Thursday's pages of the Daily Iowan. College Republicans welcomed possible U.S. Senator Sam Clovis to campus today. Read about what he had to say.
And finding a bed in City Hall. Read about how a local police officer is opening the city's door to keep the homeless warm.
Well, that's your most current edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.